Movement press is the new vibe.
First off, I guess I'll do it myself to start it off. My name is Caleaf Sellers. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. I'm affiliated with Mop Top, Dance Fusion NYC crew, and also me and Buddha Stretch started 36 Chambers of Styles, which happens in the spring and summer, and I'm also a part of Mop Top Universal.
When is the moment when you start from hip hop going to house in New York? Is it the end of the 80s or beginning of the 90s?
It actually happened like late 80s when clubs like Union Square closed down and Latin Quarters. This is when a lot of the club organizers, or owners rather, couldn't afford the insurance. So since they couldn't afford the insurance, they were forced to close down because of the violence, unfortunately, that went on in the club. Now, there were good times, but then there were some things that went on that were very dangerous, and people didn't feel comfortable in that environment, so people got hurt. And then this in turn led to those clubs closing. So a lot of my generation gravitated to this club called the Palladium. And do you guys remember Club MTV? Some of you are too young, but there was a dance show on Club MTV called Club MTV, and in the Palladium, it's a club where there would be, in the ceiling, you would see lights, but then all of a sudden, at a certain point in the night, they would drop the house down in the middle of the floor, and people could dance inside of it. But that was something that they had on the TV show, and this was really cool. Wow, we go here. But now the thing about this club that made it special was that it played hip hop, it played R&B, it played dancehall, and it played house. And that, for some people, was like an introduction to what was going on.
Right. I think you guys were making what everybody dance today, the code.
Of course.
The steps. Am I right? Because there was nobody in Chicago who danced that kind of dance like
exactly, because when I was dancing for Crystal Waters, that was 1991, and actually we went to Chicago quite a few times that year because she had a hit record. And when I went, of course, when you go to the club and you're performing in the club, I'm looking for my allies. I'm looking for the people who move or understand the language of my movement. And I didn't see anyone. I didn't meet anyone at that time. Actually, it wasn't until this year when King Charles invited me to come out to Chicago for Footwork Frenzy that I met all the people from the Dookie House era, Jukin era, the elders in that community that I'm 56, and some of them were close to my age, and they are like the beginnings of house dancing for Chicago. But it's different. It's different. It's a whole different approach.
Yeah.
It still has groove, and we can dance with each other and feel what each other's doing, but it's a whole different way of moving.
But they have the jack in Chicago.
Always. But then the jack, what we're referencing now is, it's more than just a movement. Jack was something that happened in the club, and most of the time when people referred to jacking, it was people grinding on one another. So I can jack with the pole, I can jack in the chair, I can jack as three of us, we're jacking together, or we jack on each other. This is what jacking meant. Actually, not what we're showing when we're trying to show a groove. So it's a groove in another sense. Maybe it's a groove in the universal sense of how we got here, but this is what people are doing. And there are countless documentaries where they talk about this. Maestro, they talk about people jacking on one another. Pump Up the Volume is another one where they speak about the jack. And one guy's like, yeah, man, I'll be in the club and I just start jacking on the door. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And then he gave an example and I was like, okay. So anyway.
So Jack is was more Chicago. In New York, bring the style that everybody sings. Because sometimes they mix it up in their head. The music and the dance.
Right.
And you guys from New York make the impact with this to their house dance. And before it was more this groove like Jack. But
before, I mean, there's always people that were dancing and moving a certain way, because that's why the debate about lofting has come up when people reference certain ways to move to the music. They're like, oh, he's lofting, or that's a lofting style. But when really what they were saying was that this person dances like, or reminds me of the way people dance in the loft. They were referencing a club, so they see this movement and they say that this person is doing this. But then there was a debate because there's a brother by the name of Storenzo who's a part of Lofting Unlimited, and he's an elder, and he's saying that no, we called ourselves lofters. So I said, hey, you guys are 60s, almost 70s. I'm gonna stay in my place and let you guys figure it out. When you guys figure it out, let me know. Then I'll get back to you on that. Because all I can speak about is my generation, and the beauty about my generation, there was a music that also really defined our era, and it's called hip house.
Yes.
Girl, I'll house you. Girl, I'll house you. Girl, I'll house you. You're in my hood now. So now this music was another bridge, because now a lot of things that you were doing in the hip hop club, you can do it naturally to that music. So if you heard it and you heard the pace of it, what you guys were calling hype or New Jack Swing, the pace is exactly the same. Anything that you were doing to the hype or New Jack Swing music, you can do to hip house.
Yeah.
So this was a bridge. You know, what we shared was, and what we've been sharing was what was happening in the club collectively, which means that everybody was doing it. This is the reason why those steps were remembered. Farmer, loose leg, swirl, etc. Today I mentioned no names. Today I just moved. This is the point I'm at now with the dance. I don't have to say a name. The whole point is for me to get people to move. Yeah.
Who invented the music? Who came up with
We sat how we're sitting here. We were in Marjorie's house. We had a meeting, my crew, Dance Fusion, and we decided the main sticking point of the meeting was people are calling us B-boys. We're not B-boys. We started B-boying, but what we're doing is a lot different from B-boying. Actually, there's some B-boy movements that are in the dance. People say that I created the loose leg. I'm like, no, I just do it a lot.
Yeah,
Well, Peter Paul, that's different, because that is us paying homage to one of my best friends. He was the person I danced with Crystal Waters. But he also influenced a lot of people. Without him having to ask people, whenever they saw Pete move, everyone tried to do what he was doing. They tried to dress like Pete, dance like Pete. It was crazy. So this is the reason why his movement became a part of the vocab.
So was Peter Paul his movement, or was
No,
he
that's
only
him.
also...
That's him.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off, the thing that I appreciate that more young people they're getting interested in the dance, and some of them are being introduced to it through contests. So I think that is a good thing. The bad thing is if they think that's the only thing. And sometimes they feel disappointed when we tell them, hey, it's so much more than the contest. The contest is this much in regards to the culture. So my finger here, you can see the space in between. And then the whole entire room is the culture. And this is the contest.
So when they go inside, they get lost because they're like, wow, there's so much. I didn't know. They get overwhelmed. And I love it. I love to see that look on their face when they come and visit us and they come to New York and they go outside to a jam. And you see a little baby dancing. And you see a grandma dancing. And you see all races and denominations and genders and everyone together jamming to this music. And you feel that power. And you realize, wow, I'm a part of something. I want to go deeper into this. Another misconception is that people think that you can get rich from this. I'm waiting for that day.
Making €1 million
Right.
daily.
Right. So aside from jealousy and other things that have happened and people criticize certain things that they don't understand, those are just some of the things that, yeah.
I got one more for you. When you think back in 80s era, what's one moment or one club feeling that explains what house dance is?
I can remember a moment when I was in the club and everybody, everyone, there wasn't a soul standing. Everybody was moving. And that club was Kilimanjaro's. Kilimanjaro's had a vibe. And if you want to know about Kilimanjaro's, there's it's on YouTube where you can look up Kilimanjaro. There's a dance contest. And everyone is dancing on the stage, but this is just so you can see the club, because it can't explain the night that I'm talking about. But where you would see even the bouncer, most clubs you go to a bouncer, you see bouncers, they either walking around like this, with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Or they're standing somewhere posted up in the corner like, come on. You know, like they're like all night long, you know the vibe. Where they are like, so that to me, the bartender's moving, the bouncers are moving, the promoters coming out the back like, everybody is moving. For me, that to me explains the vibe and explains the dance, because this is really before we wasn't even calling ourselves house dancers. We were club heads. I still call myself a club head. A club head means wherever there was a good party, I was there. It didn't matter the music, because a real club head is going to be out. And we party 7 nights a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. My mom was like, you going out again? I'm like, yeah. But you're familiar with the Doc Martin shoe, right? That was an official house shoe. That was one. You had another pair of shoes called Zodiac, but if you had a pair of Doc Martens, and if you went to a car and you ripped the Volkswagen sign off the car, and then you took that and you put that here, and you tied that in with your lace, now your pants, you would have jabots on. Francois jabots is like real baggy pants. So you have the jabots on. Now when you move up, you got your shirt. A lot of people at that time would wear polka dots. Polka dots were very famous. The big ones, the small ones. You have different flavor of polka dots. You have a polka dot shirt. Then you get a tie. Throw the tie on. You don't have a long tie. Now you short. That was like really like the house flavor. So you have like a little short. You shorten your tie so it's like about to right here. Now you take a vest or a blazer. You throw your blazer on. You get to the hair. Now hair. You have your like cameo with your hair shaved on the side. Back in the days, you would put like designs in our hair. You have to look at the design going. Maybe throw on some shades. You didn't have to tell anyone you were a club head. As soon as they saw you, they already knew.
Oh, also the socks match the shirt. So if you had a polka dot shirt on, you had polka dot socks on. Shout out to Marjorie, may she rest in peace. She used to work at the store called the Sock Shop. So she had the spot where all the fly socks were. And then she had the fly leggings, because the ladies would wear like maybe a skirt, a mini skirt. How do you like
Something short.
Short. And then they would have the knee-high socks, so colorful, Doc Martens on, nice shirt, or same thing with a vest. Sometimes even a tie. Flip it. Jacket, hair done. I'm telling you, if you saw us at that time, there's no way you'd be like, they go to the club. What club you going to? Automatically. We stood out the same way if you see people who dance locking, they have the socks, they have the pants, they have the suspenders, the hook. So that was another thing. If you came to a club with sneakers, you were not getting in. You had to have a certain dress because they had the dress codes and they were very selective. There's a guy standing there with a board like this and looking at everyone. And you could be out there for like 30, 40 minutes. It's freezing outside. And they're like, I mean,